Greetings and salutations, YouTube. My name is Joseph Warren, and today I'm going to tell you how to become amazing at networking. This is inspired by my live stream interview that I did this week with Sunny G, comedian Sunny G. During that interview, he said that one of the most important skills you can have as a comedian is networking. You see, networking allows you to put your face out there, to become more prominent in the industry that you're in. It also allows you to get feedback and criticism, constructive criticism from your peers. It can help you to find a mentor who can propel you to the next level of success. But more importantly than that, it makes it so that you're top of mind when opportunities come up. And it can really open a lot of doors for you, whether it's in the comedy industry, financial planning like I do, or public speaking. No matter what you're doing, I bet you can benefit from being great at networking. Before we get into it, let me give you a little bit of background. When I was starting in my career as a financial advisor, I knew that networking was extremely important. Obviously, people needed to know who I was, and they needed to be able to trust me before they would do business with me. So I decided to make it a practice to start networking. And when I first started, I wasn't very good at it. I made all the mistakes that you could make. I was too quick to change from person to person. I was too shallow in forming relationships. I wasn't forming any meaningful relationships because I would just keep jumping from person to person. Another thing is that I was doing all the talking and hogging the conversation, and I wasn't really just that good at listening. So in general, I wasn't that great of a networker. But I kept showing up and kept doing it, and after a while I started to feel discouraged. I felt like I was doing all this work of networking, but I wasn't really getting anywhere with it. So I found myself at a networking event, and I started really getting in my head. I was feeling discouraged, I was feeling anxious and nervous. So, usually I'm pretty extroverted, but in this case, I decided to go isolate myself. I went to a corner just to be by myself. And as I was there, someone came up to me, a very friendly businessman who actually ended up becoming one of my good friends and mentors. And he just kept it real. He just started talking to me, really put me at ease. And as we were talking, I started feeling better. And he said, "Hey, would you like to talk to my business partners and friends?" And as we were talking, as I was talking to that group of people, I suddenly forgot about myself, forgot about my problems, and really started to enjoy networking again. And through that, I learned an important lesson. Networking is not about short-term gain. It's not about what you can gain from other people. Networking is about how you can form mutual, long-term business relationships with others. And sometimes those business relationships will even turn into friendships. In fact, quite a few of the people I've interviewed for this channel, including Sunny G, who I interviewed this week, and Derek Guajardo, who I interviewed 2 weeks ago, these are people that I met through networking. So today I'm going to tell you my top 3 tips. As I've said, let's start with number 1. Be real. When I first started networking, I was making a mistake. I was too professional, too buttoned up. In a way, I was too formal. I did things in a way that were almost robotic. But over time, as I read books, I learned that it is important to let your inner authenticity shine. You don't have to act like you're perfect. You just have to act like you're you. And there's many benefits to doing so. For one, you attract other people who are being themselves. So you attract other authentic people, other real people. Another reason is that anytime you're forming new relationships, you want people to like you for who you really are, not for some facade or some mask that you're wearing. So when you're yourself, over time you form relationships with people who like you for you. This principle applies actually to any area of forming new relationships. It applies in the dating world. Of course, if you're dating and you're being some fake version of yourself or lying, you're going to attract people who like a fake version of you, not people who like the real you. Same thing with friendships. If you're forming friendships and just pretending to be this super cool person, but you're lying about everything, you're going to attract people who like an idea of you more than they actually like the real you. Authenticity is so key in business nowadays, as it should be. So just keep that in mind. Keep it also in mind that no one can outcompete you when it comes to being you. You really gain an advantage when you're willing to be 100% your true self. So next time you're networking, whether it's in person safely or online or in social media, remember to let your true self shine. Be yourself and you'll be amazed at the types of relationships you can form in a short amount of time. Number 2, be intentional. People decide whether or not they like you on a subconscious level within 3 seconds of meeting you. So be intentional in how you carry yourself. Check your body language. Is your body language showing that you have confidence in yourself? Or is it showing that maybe you don't trust yourself? For instance, if you're standing up straight, that shows that you have confidence. And it makes people more likely to believe that you're competent at whatever you do. Another thing you can do to be more approachable is to smile and have open body language. So if you're standing alone, make sure you have open body language so you're more approachable versus closed body language, which says, hey, back off, I don't want to talk to you right now. Another thing is if you're talking to someone or you're talking in a group, leave an opening so someone can join. So if I was talking to someone here, I would face so that someone could join if they wanted to, unless you're talking about something private. Once you are talking to someone, be intentional in how you listen. Practice active listening where you're totally in the moment, just listening to what the person has to say. The opposite of this, which people often do, including myself, is thinking of what you want to say next. But if you really pay attention, you'll find that the smartest, wittiest things you say happen when you're truly in the moment versus when you're thinking about what to say. Because thinking leads to overthinking, and it really takes you out of the element of the conversation and makes even things that are well rehearsed and planned maybe sound a little bit stilted or a little bit off. Finally, be intentional in asking good questions and by getting the other person to do the majority of the talking. This is beneficial for you for multiple reasons. For one, it makes you different. It gives a person a chance to talk, but it also gives you a chance to learn about what's important to them, what they're curious about, what they're passionate about, what their likes are, their dislikes are, and what they want. And if you really think about what business is about finding out what people want and then finding a way to give it to them for money. So if you want to be amazing at business, start by listening to people and listening actively with an empathetic ear. Finally, be intentional in who you follow up with afterwards. Follow up with people with a good reason, and if you feel like you could form a meaningful business relationship or you could help them out, then get together for coffee, a Zoom meeting, or some form of way that you can network and continue the relationship onward. Number 3, be a giver. Being a giver helps you out on multiple levels when it comes to networking. For one, it makes you stand out because so few people in this world are genuinely interested in how they can help others and provide value to others. Most people are focused only on how they look and what they can get. So it makes you stand out. Another thing is that it attracts other givers, other generous people, and makes it so that over time you're building this network of people who are trustworthy and giving, and will be on the lookout for ways they can help you. Finally, the third reason why this is very helpful is that when you're a giver, people want to give back to you. Let's say you had a friend and he said, hey, I want to get lunch today. Let me take care of it. In most cases, if you were like me, you'd be like, okay, sure, I'll get you next time. And you would want to get them next time because you want to balance out the scales. That's the correct way to do business. Treat people like you would a friend. Now let's say you had another friend who was maybe a little bit of an oddball, and he said, give me $1,000 and I'll pay for lunch for the next 20 times. You won't ever have to worry about lunch again. If you were like me, you'd probably say, no, and I don't want to be friends anymore because that's really weird. So many people approach business the second way. I see it all the time. People are constantly reaching out to me on LinkedIn, and I don't even know who they are, and they're saying, I want you to pay me thousands of dollars so I can send you qualified leads. And I never even reply. It's just a waste of time. They're wasting my time and they're wasting their time. If you want to do business with people, you have to be willing to form a relationship. And a great relationship is based on kindness and giving. So next time you're at a networking event, instead of thinking about what you can get in the short term, think about what you can give in the long term, how you can help others. And once you do that, I think you'll find that it'll take your networking to the next level. It certainly has for mine. I actually chose the word kindness as my my word or my intention for the year 2021. And I realized just recently that you really can't lose with being kind to others. If you're kind to someone, you basically are putting your best foot forward and you're helping out all the right people. And even in the worst case scenario, if someone doesn't respond to it well or takes advantage of you, you're weeding those people out as quickly as you can, and you're really getting them to show their true colors so you can focus on the people who do matter. So keep that in mind. Let me know what your intention is for the year 2021. If you want to become a master at networking, start with the mindset of how you can help others. Second, be real. Be your true self, because when you do so, you're going to create a network of people who like you for you. Finally, be intentional so you can set the best first impression and build trust with those around you. If you do this, I think you'll find that your networking will skyrocket, whether it's in person, on social media, or online. Thank you very much for watching, and have an amazing day.